Now, direct from CBS News, this Radio Net Alert Bulletin.
This is Christopher Glenn at the Kennedy Space Center in Florida. There is a major problem which developed just a few seconds into the flight. We could see it happen. There seemed to be some kind of an explosion aboard the rocket, and all of a sudden, all communication with the spacecraft was lost. Obviously, it is going nowhere at this point. It looks as if debris is falling out of the sky. It almost appeared as if one of the solid rocket boosters or one of the spacecraft main engines went awry, and something happened.
The flight director confirms that. We are looking at checking with the recovery forces to see what can be done at this point.
Oh, a great tragedy here. Christa McAuliffe, the first private citizen in space, and the rocket has apparently exploded in the first minutes of flight. We're trying to get some information by listening to Mission Control.
We will report more as we have information available. Again, to repeat, we have a report relayed through the flight dynamics officer.
A terrible
thing. The vehicle has exploded. We are now looking at all the contingency operations and waiting word from any recovery forces in the downrange field.
A terrible thing. Debris falling out of the sky, falling slowly, painfully, tragically slowly toward the Atlantic Ocean just a few miles offshore. This flight, which was to have been such a bright chapter in the history of the manned spaceflight program, turning in a flash of an instant into terrible, terrible tragedy. Of course, Mission Control only giving very scanty information as they scramble to try to find out what happened and to determine exactly what the status is. But as you heard them say, apparently the shuttle Challenger exploded within the first minute or so of flight, and the fate of the crew members is unknown, but it does not look good at all. The smoke, just crazy patterns in the sky, contrails from bits of debris going down toward the ocean, still falling. People in the grandstands, fans who had come for many miles from all over the country to wish Christa McAuliffe well, sitting stunned, some of them leaving and shaking their heads in disbelief. We can see them from where we sit. An awful
This is Mission Control, Houston. We have no additional word at this time.
A terrible sight, and one certainly that I had hoped that I would never have to see. So, NASA looking at its contingencies at this point, but really it looks absolutely awful. Looks like there is no hope for any of the people aboard that shuttle.
Reports from the flight dynamics officer indicate that the vehicle apparently exploded and that impact in the water. They point approximately 28.64 degrees north, 80.28 degrees west.
The worst fears of all of us who have covered space for a long time realized this morning at Cape Canaveral in
location of the recovery forces in the field to see what may be possible at this point.
It appeared as if the debris from the exploded Challenger shuttle came down.
And we will keep you advised as further information becomes available. This is Mission Control.
Came down just a few miles offshore. So, of course, they will be rushing boats out to that area to try to see what they can find. A most terrible sight, a most terrible event. Naturally, a great deal of confusion as we try to piece together exactly what did happen. So far, there's been no specific word on what caused the malfunction, what caused the explosion aboard Challenger. It just seemed to be going perfectly, and we had watched it leave. We had thought all was going well, and within 10 seconds after...